me now is Ed Gillespie, Republican candidate for governor of Virginia. And this is the only race that people are really paying attention to. There's one in New Jersey, too, but I think that one's over. Yours is a little bit closer, Ed, there in Virginia. How important is health care, and is what the president announced today something that your voters are paying attention to?
It's a very big issue here, Dana, and the fact is, one of the things that's clear to me is, you know, in Virginia, we can't count on Washington, D.C. to solve our problems. We've got to have our own solutions here, and I've put forward a plan, Health in Our Commonwealth. It's one of my 19 detailed policy proposals to address the challenges we face here in Virginia, to make health care more accessible and more affordable. And I'm focused on the state policies. My opponent doesn't have a plan to help do this, and what we need to do is to enhance more insurance competition in Virginia, and I've put forward a plan to allow us to have competition across state lines, whether the federal government acts or not, to make sure that we are bending the cost curve, which was what we were told would happen under the Affordable Care Act, but we saw out-of-pocket expenses increase by also giving us the freedom to innovate in our Medicaid program here in Virginia. What we need in Virginia is different from what people in Illinois or California or New York or Florida or Texas need. And we can be a leader in this regard if we can work with the federal government to have that opportunity. And I would also like to, through my policies, which they would, increase greater competition in the provider marketplace as well. And all those things would help bring down costs.
So we've got about 3 weeks until November 7th, which is the day of the election. The Washington Post has had Northam up over you for quite a while, and their latest poll, 53 to 40%. But then if you look at the Real Clear Politics average, it's much closer with Northam at 49 and you at almost 43. So I have a question about national politics and how this might be affecting you, because clearly people are looking at how President Trump will affect the election, either hurting or helping you. But I'm wondering about the Democrats, because there's certainly civil war within the Democratic Party as well. And there's a lot of progressive liberals that want a different Democratic Party. And Ralph Northam, as I understand it, as a Democrat, has actually been pretty moderate. So has that hurt him in this election?
Well, he at one time was, but he moved very far to the left in the Democratic primary contest that he had. In fact, he's the first governor I've ever seen in either party in Virginia who's not running in strong support of our right-to-work laws here. And in fact, he, at one point said, well, we can't overturn them because there's a, Republican General Assembly. But then today he said, but we may get a Democratic General Assembly, in which case he'd be able to. That would be a disaster for us. I mean, we just saw Kentucky and become a right-to-work state on our border. For us to go the opposite direction and become a compulsory union state would be wrong. But he's the first, like I say, candidate for governor who's not standing strong for our right-to-work laws. Right. He wants to impose a carbon limits like President Obama had a clean power plan that President Trump repealed in Virginia. He wants to impose one on a state level. So
like
he moved very far to the left. Well, exactly, and moved very far left. I would just say about the polls, by the way, Dana, the Washington Post has been wrong so many times that, these public polls are not designed to gauge the outcome of an election. They are designed to affect the outcome of an election. We're in a dead heat race here, and I feel momentum everywhere I go. I truly believe we're going to win this race, and I know we have to for the future of the Commonwealth.
Hey, I think I know of a president who might agree with you on the polls.
Yes.
All right, Ed Gillespie, candidate for governor of Virginia in that election in 3 weeks. Thanks so much.